This is the story of how the world's most followed Twitch streamer walked away from streaming at the peak of his career to chase something completely different. Kai Cenat just revealed a secret YouTube channel and a clothing brand he's been building in silence while everyone wondered where he went. Let me take you through what just happened, because this isn't your typical influencer merch drop. This is something else entirely. To understand why this matters, you need to know where Kai Cenat was before he vanished. In September 2025, Kai Cenat accomplished something no one in streaming history had ever done. During his 30-day subathon called Mafiathon 3, he became the first Twitch streamer to reach 1 million subscribers. Not just hit it, he shattered it, ending with 1,112,947 subscribers on September 30, 2025. The event was massive. 84.2 million hours watched across the month. Celebrities lined up to appear. LeBron James cut his hair live on stream. Kim Kardashian stopped by. Mariah Carey, Snoop Dogg, Linkin Park performing a 5-song set. The peak concurrent viewership hit over 1 million people watching at the same time. And then, just weeks later in November, Kai became the first Twitch streamer ever to reach 20 million followers. He hit this milestone on November 13th or 14th, and here's the strangest part, he wasn't even streaming when it happened. He hadn't gone live in over a month. He gained 300,000 followers while completely offline. By the time 2025 ended, Kai Cenat was the most watched Twitch streamer of the year with over 134 million hours watched. He had won 4 streamer awards in a single year, something no one had done before. Forbes estimated his earnings at $8.5 million. Time magazine named him to their inaugural Time 100 Creators list. Rolling Stone ranked him number 1 on their 25 most influential creators of 2024. He was at the absolute peak. The biggest streamer on the planet. And then he just stopped. October 2025 was his last stream. Then silence. No announcements. No updates. Just gone. People started speculating. Was he burned out? Was he retiring? What could possibly pull someone away from this level of success? The answer came on January 13, 2026, in a 23-minute video titled, "I Quit." The video opens with Kai talking to his mother. Not about streaming. About life. About purpose. About what happens when you achieve everything you set out to do and realize there's still something missing. I feel like sometimes, people need to self-reflect and take a step back from the broad perspective of what their life has been, he says in the video. Then he drops it. While everyone thought he was just taking a break, Kai had been building 2 things in complete secrecy. A YouTube channel called Kai's Mind that launched on Christmas Day 2025, and a clothing brand called Vivet with a logo he designed himself called ET3. The YouTube channel wasn't getting millions of views. When people discovered it, the videos had only a few hundred views each. This wasn't a marketing stunt. This was real. Kai had been documenting his journey learning fashion design in Italy, posting workout videos, reading improvement sessions, sewing tutorials, and personal reflections. Content nobody asked for. Content that wouldn't get him clicks or subscribers. Content he made for himself. And the clothing brand? He'd been working on it since at least October 17, 2025, when he filed 2 trademarks, one for Vivet and one for ET3. Both for clothing. But here's what makes this different from every other influencer clothing line you've ever seen. Kai addresses this directly in the video. This is not me sticking my name on a brand and money grabbing, he says. And when you look at what he's been doing, you believe him. The name Vivet comes from Latin. It means, will live. Kai chose it to represent living beyond what he's known for, refusing to be boxed into a single lane. The logo, ET3, he describes as a compass with an infinity symbol and a cross. He designed it himself. But more importantly, he spent months in Italy learning how to actually make clothes. Not hiring designers and slapping his name on their work. Actually learning. The Kai's Mind YouTube channel shows him at sewing machines, working with denim, visiting facilities, documenting the entire process from start to finish. He's planning to release shirts, boots, bags, jeans, and other denim products. The first product is a journal containing his sketches and ideas, both the failures and the successes. The website is already live with a waitlist. In the video, he says something that explains everything. This is the first time I've had a passion for something besides content creation. Think about that. 24 years old. The biggest streamer on the planet. Millions of dollars. Millions of followers. Awards. Recognition. Celebrity collaborations. Everything most content creators dream of achieving. And it wasn't enough. A few weeks before the "I Quit" video, Kai had posted on X, formerly Twitter, about his mental state. People were worried. They'd noticed he seemed different. "I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, but I need to bring awareness to mental health after some of the feedback I've been seeing," he wrote. He explained that during his consistent streaming schedule, there were times he realized he was losing touch with reality. He was experiencing self-doubt. Not depression, he clarified. Not sadness. Just doubt about whether there was more to his life than what everyone else saw. Thinking in my head of the goals I want to achieve and not achieving them because I'm only known for one thing, he said in the "I Quit" video. This is the reality of being at the top of a field at 24. You achieve everything, and then what? Do you just keep doing the same thing forever because it works? Or do you risk everything to find out who you are beyond the thing that made you famous? Kai chose the risk. To really understand this decision, you need to look at how fast Kai's rise actually was. He started streaming on Twitch in February 2021. Less than 5 years ago. In early 2023, during his first Mafiathon, he broke Ludwig's subscriber record with 306,621 subscribers. That stream pulled 46 million hours watched and gained him nearly 1 million new followers. By March 11, 2023, he won Streamer of the Year at the Streamer Awards. Rolling Stone named him to their list of the 20 most influential creators of 2023. The Streamy Awards gave him Streamer of the Year in August. Oxford University Press named Riz, a term Kai popularized, as their Word of the Year for 2023. In November 2024, he ran Mafiathon 2. Iron Mouse had broken his record in September with 313,000 subscribers, so Kai came back and more than doubled it, ending with 728,535 subscribers. He pledged 20% of the proceeds to building schools in Nigeria. Then came 2025. WWE appearance in January. Sidemen charity match at Wembley Stadium in March where he scored a goal. In May, he personally funded a $3 million event called Streamer University at the University of Akron, selecting 120 content creators from over 1 million applications. Forbes put him at number 28 on their top creators list in June with $8.5 million in earnings and 66.1 million total followers across all platforms. Time Magazine's inaugural Time 100 Creators list in July. Then Mafiathon 3 in September, breaking the 1 million subscriber barrier. Less than 5 years from starting to stream to becoming the most followed, most watched, most successful streamer on the platform. And somewhere in the middle of all that success, Kai realized he wanted more than just being good at streaming. There's a quote from the video that I keep coming back to: "I believe that there is more to the world than is much greater than myself. The energy and passion to want to do more and create is within me. That's why I quit." He's not quitting because he failed. He's quitting because he succeeded so completely that staying would mean accepting limitations he's not willing to accept. The fashion industry is notoriously difficult to break into. It's not like streaming where talent and personality can carry you. You need technical skills, industry connections, manufacturing relationships, design knowledge, understanding of materials and construction. You need to know how clothes are actually made, not just how they look. And Kai is learning all of it from scratch. At 24. After reaching the top of a completely different industry. The Kai's Mind YouTube channel is the proof. He's not hiding the learning process. He's not waiting until he's perfect to show people what he's doing. He's documenting the failures alongside the successes because the process matters more than the outcome. That's the real story here. Not that an influencer started a clothing brand. Plenty of influencers do that. The story is that someone at the absolute peak of their field walked away to become a beginner again in something completely different. When you look at Kai's career, there's a pattern of going bigger than expected. The Mafiathons weren't just long streams, they were multi-million-dollar productions with celebrity guests and charity components. Streamer University wasn't just a meetup, it was a fully funded educational event for 120 creators selected from over 1 million applications. Vivet follows that same pattern. It's not just clothes. The journal as the first product tells you everything. He's selling the process, the journey, the mistakes, and the learning. The compass logo with the infinity symbol and cross, it's about direction and continuation, not arrival. In fashion, most celebrity or influencer brands follow a simple formula: hire a design team, approve some samples, slap your name on it, market it to your audience, collect money. Fast fashion with a famous face attached. Kai spent months in Italy learning to sew. Learning about denim construction. Working in facilities. Understanding the craft at a fundamental level. That's not the approach of someone who wants to make quick money off their fame. That's the approach of someone who actually cares about the thing they're building. I want to show the full workflow from start to finish, he said. He's committed to being deeply involved in the actual design process, including the technical aspects most famous people never touch. The website is already live. The waitlist is open. The products are planned: shirts, boots, bags, jeans. But more than that, the philosophy is clear. Vivet means, will live. It's about creating something that exists beyond him, beyond streaming, beyond any one thing he's known for. Let's be honest about what's happening here. Kai Cenat is risking the biggest streaming career on the planet to chase fashion design and personal development content that gets a few hundred views. From a pure business perspective, this makes no sense. He could keep streaming, keep pulling millions of viewers, keep making millions of dollars, and start a clothing brand on the side without sacrificing any of his streaming success. That's what most people would do. But that's not what he's doing. He's actually stepping away. His last stream was in October 2025. As of January 2026, he's still on hiatus with no clear indication of when or if he's coming back to streaming regularly. The mental health conversation he started on X makes more sense now. As I was very consistent in streaming, there were certain times I realized that I was losing touch with reality, he wrote. When you're 24 and you've achieved everything, and millions of people only know you for one thing, and that one thing is consuming your entire identity, that's when you start losing yourself. The self-doubt he mentioned wasn't about whether he was good at streaming. It was about whether he could be anything else. Whether he could grow beyond the box the world had put him in. So he's testing it. He's seeing if he can build something from scratch in a completely different industry while the world watches. No safety net. No guaranteed success. Just belief that he's more than the sum of his Twitch stats. That's either incredibly brave or incredibly reckless, depending on how you look at it. What Kai is doing challenges the entire creator economy model. The standard path is, get famous, maximize that fame, ride it as long as possible, maybe transition when you absolutely have to. Kai's doing the opposite. He's transitioning at the peak, while he still has all the leverage and attention, while he could coast for years on what he's already built. And he's not transitioning to something easier or more profitable. He's transitioning to something harder that requires completely different skills and offers no guarantee of success. Think about what that means for other creators. If someone at Kai's level can walk away to pursue passion over profit, to prioritize learning over earning, to risk failure in pursuit of growth, What does that say about the pressure everyone else feels to keep creating the same content forever? The creator economy runs on consistency. Algorithms reward frequency. Audiences expect regularity. Sponsorships require reliability. The entire system is built to keep creators locked into whatever's working. Kai just said no to all of it. And he's doing it publicly, documenting the process, showing people that you don't have to stay in the lane that made you successful. That's dangerous to the model. That's inspiring to the people. That's exactly the kind of thing that changes how an entire generation thinks about creative work. As of January 13, 2026, Kai's future as a streamer remains unclear. He hasn't said he's quitting forever. He said, "I quit," but in context, it seems like he's quitting the version of himself that only existed to stream, not necessarily quitting streaming entirely. The Kai's Mind channel continues to upload content showing his journey in fashion and personal development. The videos still aren't getting millions of views, and that doesn't seem to bother him. This isn't about views. This is about growth. Vivet is moving forward with products planned for release, starting with the journal. The website is live. The brand identity is established. The philosophy is clear. And 20 million Twitch followers are waiting to see what happens next. Here's what we know for certain: Kai Cenat didn't build the biggest streaming career on Twitch just to quit and disappear. He built it so he'd have the freedom to become something more. The streaming success wasn't the destination. It was the foundation. Vivet might succeed. It might fail. The clothing might be incredible. It might be mediocre. The Kai's Mind channel might grow. It might stay small. None of that is the point. The point is that at 24 years old, at the absolute peak of his industry, with every reason to stay comfortable and keep collecting wins, Kai Cenat looked at his life and decided he wanted to be uncomfortable again. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow. He wanted to find out who he could become when he wasn't just the biggest streamer on Twitch.so. This is the story. The world's most followed Twitch streamer hits 20 million followers while not even streaming. Breaks the 1 million subscriber record. Becomes the most watched streamer of 2025. Then walks away to learn how to sew jeans in Italy and document his personal development journey on a secret YouTube channel nobody's watching. He filed trademarks in October. Launched the channel on Christmas. Revealed everything on January 13 in a 23-minute video where he talked to his mom about purpose and passion and refusing to be defined by one thing. Vivet means, will live. It's a statement about legacy and growth and becoming more than what people expect. The ET3 logo is a compass with an infinity symbol and a cross, direction, continuation, faith in the journey. And Kai Cenat, 24 years old, is betting everything that he can build something meaningful in fashion while staying true to a simple idea: there's more to life than being the best at one thing. Whether he succeeds or fails, whether he returns to streaming or doesn't, whether Vivet becomes a major brand or a footnote, none of that changes what this moment represents. This is someone choosing growth over comfort. Choosing passion over profit. Choosing to be a beginner again after mastering something completely. That's the real story. Not the secret YouTube channel. Not the clothing brand. Not even the hiatus from streaming. The story is that someone at the top of the mountain looked around and decided they wanted to climb a different mountain entirely. And they're documenting the whole thing so we can watch what happens when you're brave enough, or crazy enough, to start over.